Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Manichean series of Crusader Kings 3 here on the Lord Master channel. As the realm slowly expands, not westward, but rather taking Lolan back, as I show this duchy map. We took it back, but the problem was the war took too damn long. And we had the offensive war opinion gone up fairly high. Although, I think in a couple months' time, I'm willing to start a war to expand into the rest of Sogdia. That's my intent. Conquer Sogdia, and especially Samarkand, so we can have an Archegos as a direct vassal to me, rather than its own thing. So I'm willing to, do so. Also, still not, in a rush of possibly adopting a centralized administration. I mean, if I were to control all of Transoxiana, then maybe we could talk. Which would make ourselves look like we're the successors of this Chinese form of administration out west. But I still, would like to expand into Khorasan as well. Especially these Buddhists down there, which surprisingly, if we were neighbors, then, if we were neighbors and friends and allies, then we can bring them in, and that would be a big get for us. Something that we ought to think about. And try to get them in. Something to think about. But nevertheless, we make a great fortune, in which I thought about the honestly, I was thinking about getting another man-at-arms regiment with light horsemen because of the siege progress. But you know what? Expand upon it. Spend it. Since we have such excellent conveniences, we probably got it from that Sogdian vassal of mine who just lost it, and therefore it's like, alright, more light horsemen. To have more, capabilities of siege progress, since we intend to, expand very fast. Move rally point here. Yeah. New rally point established. Actually, this here's good because of supply limit reasons. But please wait a couple months, as I will hold court. A rift in the Overhaul country. I presented my vassals Yapko Sagarak and Khatun, both influential clubs of the Overhaul college, sometimes messy politics. Before they even open their mouths, it's clear that they disagree. They steps forward. My lady, I've come here today to put near the rights publicly. The ancient noble families of the Vasta Rusta is stretched to remit of their privileges more each year. Ignoring the precepts of the scriptures and the will of the Father of Greatness. I'm sure you agree with me, Lynch. That immediately shakes her and looking at me expecting along with the entire court. I'll say both of you are invaluable subjects as around. 80% chance I charmed the pair. 90% chance they're like, okay, we got it. Before me stands my steward, Kun Chidke, his head hung low. My lady, Jinsko, has been hit hard by the recent raiding and looting. The people are starving, the fields are not recovering, and our livestock is not enough to survive anymore. We beg you to intervene and save your devoted subjects with your great magnanimity. He bows deeply and falls silent. Are we even good anymore? What we could do for a better seneschal, as I noticed her stewardship skill. I know just the right person for the job, so I'll send a official direct to supervise the recovery over there. My lady, I regret to inform you that I'm at the end of my tether. My friend Etibochul is clearly exasperated. The people I watch over, which I should rule, are beyond my understanding, with ridiculous customs and a terrible taste for food. All my efforts so far have been in vain. It just seems possible to make good serfs out of them. I'm afraid a strong intervention from above is the only solution available now. I'm sure the county you rule over is what's a nomadic realm. What little's after the old agriculture? You can do so. You know, we respect the traditions of all subjects. Even though that's from our own people. You're still behind the times. You know, show them our greatness, they'll change their mind. Send a rural architect to develop this kind of infrastructure. That'll show them. Over here, my lady, my beneficiary, Tedson, weighs over wide Gwyn. I've toiled over many days and nights, and my work's finally done. He presents me with an object wrapped in cloth. As I lift the fabric, my eyes grow wide. A ceremonial goblet of excellent craftsmanship. It is made of ivory with garnet inserts. Court grandeur bonus 2. Courtiers Vassal tax contribution 2%. This is lovely. Put it here. Right here. Have a look at it. You know, you should get married matrimonially, despite the fact that you're club-footed. And fortunately, we found someone handsome for increased fertility. Oh, haha, Sharbamian. I mean, I had thought about, you know, it's like, you know, we should vassalize him after we conquer Sogdia. And this is our way. What a coincidence. We got it. Are you a lot like your brother? No, you're more into intrigue. But as for you, I think you should change your education to be more of diplomacy. Yes. I know. I did that. So many prisoners. Patriarch Sangrama often quotes passages from the scriptures about the holy virtues. I should prove that I paid attention by quoting passages, preferably one which complements personality. I'll memorize and recite this section on. Well, he's an honorable lackey, so. Oh, I know, because he's chaste. I got it. It's chastity. He's flattered. got it. Now that we have an alliance, when that day comes when we are at your borders, then we'll try to be there for you. You know, river crossings over here, so we're not exactly neighbors yet. That's a nomadic hunt, can't do that. Long-term plans. You know what, keep at it. Would like to have that befriend over here. Unless, well, the man's committed adultery. What if? Make him a lover, but that's unjust. Perhaps romance? Be very easy. If you were to be allied, soulmate will more than likely to accept your vassalage. It's a good thing to think about. Yeah, I'm not terribly worried about offensive war anymore because I know the next one we're going to do is going to be very quick. Yeah, we're taking the time for the light horsemen to be reinforced. And this will make this siege progress, the ability of it, faster and faster. I want you to start a war in February. I know it takes a few months to gather, but we will make a swift advance to that. Wants to make mail? I got my own set of armor. That's pretty good to my taste. Still feeling fine. But we'll have to get up to a small health boost. Let's do it. No, it takes 10 months to get her, they say. Just gotta wait until the man-at-arms appear, then advance quickly. That's an insignificant... Oh, that's a mercenary band. Okay, never mind. It's still insignificant, though. That's the real army. Likely going to Zerashan. Up to Panji Kent. That's where they're headed. I know that place well, because I read a lot about the history of Sogdia. Stop gathering. Move up to here. Advance. Man-eating monster in Zerashan? The heck? Don't come in with full force just yet. Wait for the others. We gotta merge together. It's the only way to dislodge them. I guess they figured out our plan. Now we'll catch them up there. They got no choice but to fight us up here. I think I know what the result is going to be. Oh, lost my bodyguard. He'll be avenged. And we killed one of theirs. And we just captured. We just captured the direct vassal enemy, captured his heir. We don't need to besiege Samarkand. Meanwhile, indulging myself in combat against some of the weaker enemies' levies, I find myself slashing through the weaker, less trained forces of ease, cutting down a few enemies every few minutes. Soldiers alongside me are equally thrilled as their unmatched skills give them easy kills. Eventually, I find myself clashing with a slightly shorter, skinnier opponent who rushes past me frantically. I step aside and allow them to fall past me. As they stand themselves up, their helmet slips off, revealing the face of a boy, no older than 16 years old, and not a single hair grown on his face. Whilst they clutch their blade bravely, I know the fight's unfair. Do I still about killing him, or do I have to cut it down like the rest? He's 13. He's just a kid. We have merciful war for 2 years, even if I lose a bit of advantage, but war's already over. Thank goodness it was a quick war. Even though we could go for another round to control Sogdia as a whole. But it'll be living out there. But nevertheless, we got what we want. We control all areas except for this one. But I wouldn't be worried too much about it. We could do some inspecting in Samarkand. Now while over there, go visit the Akabahara. Hold on. I think that would require 2x. Well. Had it been active, Bakara would have been one tough holding to take, but thank goodness we don't have to do that. We didn't have to do that. But anyways. Just as Marcus said once led the faith in the Holy See of Babylon, so does our current Archegos to lead us there in Turan and Persia. By formalizing the Church's divine mandate in Samarkand, the Manichean faith will be reborn and spread to a new people. So I gain 1,000 piety for this. So the Archegos gets the Pada of Samarkand, and they becomes my vassal. And it will be their new realm capital. Manichaeism is born anew. So here you go. It's yours. I could give you more land for yourself, but yeah, Archegos still come. You may be infirm, and also you got Volga beekeepers. It's part of your tradition because you're Bashkirian. Again, have to give these all away. Give it to a local Sogdian noble. And these two titles, there for that. There you go. Lost my bodyguard. Point a new one. See, defensive war opinion, now it's 31 instead of 27, so it didn't take that long. You want to come in? Not the rightful liege, unless I were to form Transoxiana title, which they'll fall in line, especially you little ones there. But let's not rush in to that. Not quite there yet. Guess that requires getting this. I'm sure by now you probably fear our military might. Can grant your vassals. Like, what if we make the whole of Sogdia be his realm? The money didn't. I guess that's probably words for Manichean Church or something like that, or on his realm. I don't know. But we've accomplished that little goal. That won't happen, because you're not either of these. Yeah, it actually got me to thinking, based on where you're at, geographic location-wise. That mine. Like, perhaps you could make a quick conquest over there, then another one in Badakhshan, and I would like to have personal control there. Because of that mine, not only for the money, but also station, siege, weapon effectiveness. You kidding? That would be grand. Plus, we're not connected yet. We gotta conquer Ferghana first. It's tempting to take the little things. too many counties to be forced vassalized, so you can't do that. Seljuk nomadic invasion of Azerbaijan. So you're skipping over. So in the meantime, gonna go inspect Samarkand. Let's improve the success chance because I want Samarkand to be successful. And at the same time, visit Bukhara for this little thing. Yeah, for the learning, for the march. Yeah, there might be some control issues along the way, but just wanted to succeed that. Plus, it's something for me to do as we pass the time to do this work, and then come back, and then go hunt, and after the hunt, then back to conquest. Because I want to get that offensive war opinion down. Do it. To Samarkand. Prince Bishopric of Samarkand. Do you now? How much? Ordered 62 to go to Southern Europe? Might as well do it now, because you're going to get older and you're going to start losing prowess over time, so give it to him. Meanwhile, procession on the ground is going to halt the stone's throw away from Kehan. I look over to see my caravan leader, Mutzlu, dismounted and intently stare outside on the ground. The other entourage members are gathered around her. One will accept approach. My lady, there's an ant path here, maybe a tad superstitious, but you should never cross an ant path. She paused. My great-grandfather did, and he never returned home. This is nonsense. I'll take over as guide. We got lost. And then we got more delays. It gives us more time to do the possibilities of Silk Road trade. The time has come for you to depart on my adventure, my burger tour. Sehan, as well as you can while weighed down by heavy bags. Before I leave, please tell me, is there anything specific you want me to keep an eye peeled for during my journey? You know what? I want to possess something truly unique. It's got to be Southern Europe, so who knows what's out there that is of European origin. Can usurp that duchy title if you wish. You know what? Give me that. Yo. I know you have issues with me, but give it to him. Lolan. You usurped the title of Lolan. Kroran. That's how it's spelled. Yes. Give it here. It's not a powerful vessel, but it's something for you to keep an eye on. No, it's not going to change the fact that this one, because well, for the longest time, I'm sure you probably noticed, how come you never got rid of that disabled building? That's for just in case if I do go administrative, and this would be active. If I feel like it, although I've spent quite a bit. 62%. 52. Boom. It's winter in the Ferghana Valley. $139. On our way through this far, we appeared to stumble into a local food market. Everywhere, peasants and nobles of every culture and tongue clamor around the exotic food stalls. The air thick of fragrances I never had imagined. My nose is drawn to a lowly stall stack with a dish I could only dream of. I'm pulled out of my haze by the halting grasp of Ilkan. Do not waste your power on this stuff, my lady. Some voices are for peasants. We have much finer foods at home. I can't believe I almost ate this garbage. I'm temperate. Trade them. As I walk through the temple in Candin Bada, overhear a group of travelers talking quietly to one another. One of them, a woman, starts describing and comparing the church of her journey to Vamna. I can't help but listen on the conversation. She continues going on detail about the fantastic things saw in Vamna. Look at her, I can only imagine how much better it must be than the 90 side I see here. One interesting tale, I say, because you can't do a pilgrimage on your own capital, or can you? I mean, you can right now, but I'm just saying, when it comes to planning pilgrimages. No, you can't do that on your own. That's your capital, and that's not a valid pilgrimage site. Just say what an interesting tale it is. Soft rumor of a river been falling for all becomes stronger now. Some members of the entourage talk of making a short stop, get some fresh water, and rest their feet. There's a stone bridge when the path turns. A couple of men with rest with their backs against the parapet. One hits on the other on the side, points our group. The third man comes ashore. Another looks up to us for spitting into the river. You know, this is actually a toll bridge. Whatever you do, you suggest. Shibu, show him. He beats the bandits. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'll have to correct that little thing just for giving that to you, because I got a little bit too giddy. Turning a bend in the path, we come across a group of people covered in dust, emerging from what must have been an impressive tomb. They hoist burlap sacks that jingle and jangle, weighed down by the trinkets they dug out of an ancient building. Times are hard, our families must be fed, and we're not doing harm to anyone amongst the living. You got any money in you? I have no time for peasants. I travel far from home, and the ice-cold winds are far behind. Though at first the change of climate was pleasant and wondrous for my complexion, my skin started to turn crimson, and water goes through me like a sand through a sieve. Water is cooling and invigorating, and probably a great source of exhaustion, but it simply isn't enough. I need water. Nope. good did you speak our language? 63% chance of success because of overseer attempt. This is As I arrive at Samarkand, I am brought to the study. A group of servants to know my needs and fuss around me for a while, so I ask them to leave. I'm meant to focus on my task at hand if they keep running around the room. With them on the way, I can finally start working on my plans, which is to get us this freer land. We need to improve the bureaucracy here in Samarkand. Friendly nobles. Signs of a bad harvest. As we survey more obscure regions of Samarkand, Shuji and I find a small area referred to as the Drylands of Vada. Besides some few goat herders, there does not seem to be anyone living around here. Whenever we pass them by, they look at us with suspicion in their eyes. If I want to ensure my control in Samarkand, I need to get a better grasp on the populace, even in these remote lands. Invest in some roads for the area so I can send people out here. Better success chance increase. And the holding of Adar gets a toll road. So it will convert it to an economic building if a holding is built there. Control growth and less danger here. So Vadar is out here where we just passed by. Although that's a good way. Building a toll road here that for those that travel through there. Deuce. Power amongst locals. Excess chance increase. After thoroughly scrutinizing all the documents I could find, I managed to wrestle out some extra budget that I can reallocate to alleviate some of the local infrastructure issues troubling the county. I need to figure out which section of bureaucracy is most in need of some extra aid. Take your pick. But I want to see improved control to defeat the corruption in Samarkand, so a local garrison's been struggling lately. 31% chance of a success increase, 65% chance to increase slightly, 3% decrease. There we got. Alright, successful reallocation. Develop city walls, decrease. Extra taxes, gained a bit of money. After an evening spent in discussion with local landholders, they're yet able to find a compromise. Despite my best efforts, I feel my motivation for trying to hold things together here slowly fade away. Why can't they just get along, for once? Just talk with each other. Good. Troublesome mercenaries. Down. Kubasa, you've done it again. I'm thinking of a name. Visma. Second sounding name. It looked impossible at first, but I've somehow managed to find a way to start putting things right in Samarkand, ending some of the local corruption and bandits. Though it's only a first step in the right direction, it is crucial for the county's future. Just need to ensure we stay on the right path for the foreseeable future. As planned. See? You'll get what you need and more. At least now we know how much gold you have exactly. Not only off the land, but also from the Manichean realms. So this will help you out. Not doing it for Vamna, we're doing it for you. And I may contemplate where one day we ought to, well, create, anytime if you wish, you could create that title, and I would actually give it to the Archegos to make it feel like Sogdia is a holy land for the Manicheans. $114. My lord, don't you mean my lady? I found a few trite relics so far in my adventures, which I saved with this courier, but I'm unsure what I may cover next. The Europeans are the smelliest creatures I've ever encountered. As a child, I dreamed of green and pleasant metals, but I'm convinced half of this world is made of mud. If your grace, liege, please send word to call me back. This isn't a holiday. Quest on. So you got me the fingernails of Saint Margaret. Saint Margaret of Antioch was famed for slaying a dragon using the heels of her shoes alone. Supposedly these old disgusting fingernail cuts belonged to her. Sent to me during his adventures. That's +1 prowess. That's good to know. But inside of this little box are the fingernails. Pass through the back alley in Archegos. I see a lonely child and his dog sitting in a corner behind a small. Here you go, Valor. Says again, small piece of rent, keeping up for yourself. Look at the dude. Clearly the dogs are taking better care than its owner. The kid must have given it everything it could find. That's for child. The sun scorches in the dunes of Samarkand, making each step a testament to endurance. Yet, amidst this arid expanse, an oasis of greenery blooms, an agricultural marvel in the heart of the desert. As we admire this anomaly, the steward of these lands approaches with sun-warmed song. Travelers, she calls out, come witness the fruits of our labor. Mayhap you'll carry tales of our travel over the sands back to your homelands. Perhaps a sample of your harvest to sustain us. We all get a huge health boost for a year. $83. $113. Put it over here. A future reference when we take another part of that here. To fully conquer Sogdia and make it what I would call a holy land for Manicheans. A journey through silk unveils a sprawling patches dotted with cattle. As my retinue pauses at the edge of the banana field, the herdsman approaches, terribly strumming his lute. He grants a broad salary. My lady, he begins, these beasts are pride of our province. Perhaps you partake in our famous soaked boot cheese? Well, I'm temperate, so no cheese for me. But show me how we work your herds. Eh. Just want to do another quick war. That's my plan. Fully control Sogdia, then I will create the title and give it to him. So it will function similarly to the Catholic papacy. $32. I'm a renowned Silk Road merchant now. So yeah, she's a prominent merchant along the so-called Silk Road, whether land-based or maritime trails. She's experienced in the arts of trade, travel, and negotiation. My lady, my beneficiary, sound announced his arrival. Surprisingly loud voice. He proudly holds up package securely wrapped in cloth. I returned from southern Europe with an artifact of my journey. I take the bulky bundle into my hands and loosen the cord so peeling layer after layer of fabric. Inside is an artifact unlike anything I've seen before. He sounds surprised. The Iron Crown of Lombardy. Lombardy. So called because the iron circlet on the inner side is said to have beaten out of the nail of Jesus' cross. This is magnificent. Never thought I would see this crown out here in this part of the world. Look at that! Monthly prestige, renowned, vassal limit, development growth in the realm capital, court grandeur bonus. And if there are any Italians or Longobards out there, though it's unlikely to find them in this part of the world, they respect me a bit more for being the owner of this crown. It's not meant to be worn. It's for display. This is wonderful. Look at that. Yep, this is the same court that also has the robes of the Buddha. And this is so dang good that this condition will never deteriorate. It's gonna last forever. How much? 75? Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit expensive. Maybe a little more, and then I'll have a talk about it. Repair these. Yeah, we still have a new tapestry. In fact, why isn't that on display? Put that on. For the vassal tax contribution. It increases the court grandeur a bit as well. Okay, court event's coming. I'm almost home. Just hang on. Almost there. Thank the Father of Greatness. I'm here. Okay, what is it? Busy to miss another day at court. Over here, my husband, Madame Bresciugi's distinctive irate tone. Sam Gallica seems to have got his goat. Stepping closer, I see my guests smugly jeering. These so-called fashions are an embarrassment. They only be fit for only the servants and children in any respectable Vanna court. My husband flushes red and cries, I've quite enough of you. I don't care if you're as guest. Much to Sangalaka's surprise. Pulling me aside, Shuji moans bitterly. That ungrateful food never ceases to mock us. Yesterday my servants overheard him calling our trends passé. Decent fashion. Well, it doesn't hurt anyone, as long as it keeps the court grandeur level up. Yeah, why not? Whoa! For the burgeoning fashion industry, increased holding tax and development growth. After all, Khatunese silk is just as good as Chinese silk. So that'll send them up. So we should take the rest of this. Because I really want to vassalize them in here. But we're not bordered with them. But very close. So I think you're better off of doing this method. It's 1. Conquer this, conquer that, we're neighbors, vassalize, skip over, conquer Badakhshan, have it in my personal control for more wealth. So, as far as I'm concerned, you're next. How's it look? Offensive war, minus 25. I mean, we weren't gone that long. Everything's fully reinforced and ready to go. Yeah, you got her faster, but we're only taking our sweet time to get the men-at-arms over here. All I have to do is beat you in a major battle, take your land very quickly, and that's it. It could have done better, since you are the future of the realm. Because after me, then it'll be Kubasar's turn, and after Kubasar, then it'll be you. Good luck taking Bukhara, that's a high fort level area. Waiting for the numbers to jump, then we'll know. Because, you know, the other alternative is, well, hire mercenaries. Here it is. Stop gathering. Form up over here. And then we'll defeat the army, then take the land. Nearly 4,000 strong these days. Let's get them. You're going nowhere. Okay, that's a major battle one, and now let's see how fast the siege progress is going to go against a level 4 fort level. Less than a month. Can we do better? Because I recall we have someone here who's... Aha! Well, he's a guest, so bring him over here. Willing to spend money on that. Well, it's at your behest of siege events, so whether you're lucky or not. Plus, it's time for me to go hunting, so timing couldn't be better. A lion sighting. A lion up in these here mountains? You got it. I'm willing to go for that. Let's go. I'm ready for that. So yeah, finish the war for me while I go hunt a lion. Apparently there's a lion in the Ferghana Valley. Which, to be quite honest, in real life, I don't think lions live that far up in Central Asia. But tigers do. Especially down there in the southern part of Sogdia, where there used to be the Caspian tiger. You have your nephew and your sister and your whole damn family. I step out of my tent and rub my eyes. Siege camp sprawls out before me. A tangle of tents crammed into a muddy streets and splitting roads amidst the clangor of hammers, the chatter of soldiers, and the clink of armor. Smoke rises from every encampment. Flags flutter in the stiff northwestern breeze. Colors stark and bright against the dune sky. The work is endless. The earth is a morass of mud and bodies. The air is foul and musty beneath the canopy of tops that cover the tents. The sweet scent of horses and sweat and leather intermingle with the mixtures of blood and dried shit that kick our boots and cloaks. A low retainer approaches for the siege. Got him, I bet I got set the Archegos. The hot levy of Naxab stands for me, a ravaged landscape and the fields between, lit by a row of torches. Soldiers advance grimly, eliminating the wounded. The gates are open, most walls are demolished, the flanking towers breached. A pall of grey smoke hangs over the hot levy of Naxab, as do the black-feathered ravens. Corpses litter the hill, too numerous to tally. Black-veiled women wailed amidst the wreckage, while armored men angrily questioned the captive survivors. The men looked me for direction. For once, spare it, and imprison everyone you see. War is over. Duchy of Sogd is ours. And to confirm this further, we have now formed the L of Sogd. And who are we going to give it to? The new Archegos, says the old one has passed. Died of pneumonia at 78. Yeah, that killed him. And what do you know? It's just fairly recent. Archegos did. Money did. That's the Uyghur word. That money, you know, something of that realm? Guess that was a name for it. Samarkand is the name of the Uyghur name, or Turkic name for Samarkand. So Derek, the newest, and she's starts off young at 23. I don't know if that's the youngest Archegos we've ever had in its history, especially when you go back to the days of Prophet Mani himself. This is what he looks like. We remember him. Again, said to be of the Vassal dynasty. She speaks Shaz Turkic and Mongol, but she doesn't speak the language of the locals. One temple, one castle. Well, I was going to give the rest of the lands to you, but you don't have the stewardship skill for that. Compared to your predecessor, well, they tended to have learning. So you will have Sogdia. And I'll give you these lands as well. Do whatever you want with it. Even if you're over the limit, you might as well appoint newer vassals. And you have one little Muslim entity that you gotta contend with. the Mnemonic Sogdia is now a holy land for the Manicheans. Well, minus one little Muslim outpost there, but again, that's at your discretion. But as we know, she is compassionate, trusting, but however, she's lustful, which is sinful of the Manicheans. Hope she changes her ways through confessions. But she's loyal, so she'll never betray me as a vassal. Anyways, on to the hunt. As my health is becoming poor now. Getting old. Why not? As I travel through the plains of Ush, I come across a group of hunters. They allow me to follow along the hunt for a little while, pointing out some of the specifics in their technique and some tracking clues unique to this area. Prolific hunters. Alright, Kimex imported that culture. They haven't got rid of Sogdia culture, but they try to cover some of that. It's due to nomad settler. That'd be nice to have if I was more, you know, step-oriented. So I'll say perhaps they can train me. Gain a bit of that experience. Don't need a new nickname though. I'm stopping by the town of Miyano-dan on my travels, and the locals showered me with great esteem. The people here did not expect someone like myself to visit their humble settlement, as some local leaders suggested to spend a few days there. These leaders wish to show me around the area and leave a good impression on me about their town and its surroundings, as well as the people who dwell here. Good. I don't mind a slight detour. As we await the arrival of the rest of the guests, my servants can get started on the preparations. The gamekeepers check the highlands for every day for signs of quarry, while establishing camp closer to hunting grounds. Those lions are close. I can feel it. And while we wait, let's make some fortune. I have a feeling that when I pass, we're not going to make as much income as we used to, and it's going to cause some cuts that we'll have to make. Budget cuts. Especially militarily. But I still would love to conquer Arakshan. So I guess it'd be safe to say you may want to forget this whole Khorasan expedition. But as for the others, if you were to say rightful age, but unfortunately the man's arrogant, so he'll never accept as a vassal. Yeah, that's another obstacle in the way. So I guess one little war over to the mountains we'll have to do, instead of doing a two-step process. Because even if we become neighbors, that still will not be enough to turn his opinion to our way. Unless you wish to befriend him. Even thought about the possibility of, I don't know, romance him. He's committed adultery, so why not? Let me see the fort levels. 3, 6, 6. Damn, they've really stepped up on defenses there. Huh. 25, 25, 25, 4, 25. Huh. 25 must be her number. Iron constitutions. If I ever get sick, get a huge health boost of disease resistance. So you'll be fine. Just want to be alive as long as possible. But at least when Kubazar begins his reign, he'll begin at a more decent age. Even though he's going to be impotent, so he'll be having a slightly hard time of getting children. So that's why I was quiet. I was just waiting for time to pass. Sabanak, the dim dude, symbols the party. As the sun rises over the camp in the mountains near Mian were done. My men have been gathering sightings of a lion that's been terrorizing the local area, and we have plenty of pairs of eyes, not to mention spears. The beast's reign of terror ends today. The villain's already claimed several locals and grows bolder each day and is allowed to roam freely. Let's see if the rumors are true. Let's get out there. Oh! I'm going to be quite honest, ladies and gentlemen. I've done plenty of hunts in this game, but I don't think I ever seen peril, treacherous, nor prestige glorious. Because I can't seem to recall hunting anything dangerous than a lion. Maybe a tiger back in the Indian playthroughs, but even then. Yeah. Give me a moment. Bingo. Okay. It's a lovely day for a hunt, which means it's a nice day to be outside. As I fill my lungs with fresh air to the wilderness, I spotted this is what can only be a good from or nature's dedication to the living spirit. So many useful herbs. Beautiful flowers, both for healing and malicious intents. But I'm here to hunt. Picking Hibiscuses may raise some eyebrows. Must keep up with appearances. Slightly increases the hunter trade experience. Which I want you to remember the number here. Currently, it's 77. Now, it's still 77. I guess that's when it's after the hunt. But you know, big risk. I'm old and defenseless. There's a real possibility that if things don't go my way, you think the cause death will be killed on a lion hunt? I don't know. My vassal, Yapko Sagarak, spots a lion watching so far, its body taut, ready to run. The powerful beast is a sight to behold. The horses grow skittish as they each spot its flowing mane amongst the leafy bushes. Without warning, it lopes away in a flash of golden fur, disappearing behind a rise. I'm a brave woman. Don't you know I'm the greatest of Khans, Chakravarti, and many other things that she's known for. After we'd ride. But if I'm gonna go out on a hide. You want to conquer Changani? Oh, sure, because you know the thing is all the way from Syracuse. How'd you get connections to that from a vassal and Byzantium? But anyways, the blaring of war horns reached me even here in Mediterranean. As I'm in the midst of hosting a hunt, I've joined in a fight against Sheikh of Changania. Much of the planning has gone to preparing this hunt, and now I'm loath to send my guests home. The importance of this conflict should not be underestimated, however. Perhaps it would be best focused all my efforts on preparing for war. I can manage things from here. Get that lion! Oh, never mind. You got this. You got this already. Don't raise troops. Big cat, small cub. As we wandered a while, seeking the deadly lion, I hear a pathetic and low mewling coming from across the way. I follow its source and find a tiny lion cub, smaller than a common stray cat, shivering and standing completely still in the open. Hofa Kanaka of ultrasound rushes to its side, carries it purring in his arms. The poor thing's parents must have died or gone lost. It's our duty to protect the mother of life's vulnerable creations, is it not? I will care for it. Be a cub protector for the next 2 years. So this character has adopted a cub of a big cat, so it's grown up to fend for itself. Yeah, that's another thing that we can write down on the notes of what would it be like after life, or any of those stories. It's like, hey, she cared for a cub of a big cat. I could take the hit. After hours of riding, we're finally cornering a wily beast. Our chase not been in vain. When we're tired to find, the lion last halts, turns towards us, and lets out an almighty roar. The huntsmen sheepishly surrounded with their spears as it swipes its deadly claws. Whew. I don't care about a pelt trophy. Let's get it. Spears ready. Forward. 2 on the left. 2 on the right. 50% chance that a pelt trophy will not be available. 27% chance the beast is slain. 54% chance to wound someone else. 17% chance someone dies. Get it! The group surges forwards, fanning out around the terrified animal. We slowly surround it, spears bristling, and put out a roaring beast out of its misery. Take that! Hunts like these are pure joy. Cannot wait for next year. There's nothing quite like the thrill of bringing down a mighty beast. I direct the breaking up, deftly skinning their carcass with precision and speed. With We placed the eager dogs, shared the spoils on the stretched hide before departing for camp on home. Mount its head. I guess the seats mercy. A mighty lion skull. The skull of the great lion. King of beasts, hunted by Renasati in Meodordan. It is masterly preserved and attached to a wonderfully carved maple mount. That'll definitely look good. Not to mention night effectiveness. I really like that. So dangerous beast slain. Popular opinion up for you. Now I'm a proud owner of a skull of the dangerous lion of Meodordan. I like the short range duration bonus, but I think it should only be used when we right, you remove that and put it over here, this lion skull. You can tell that's the head of a big cat. Yeah, right. Plus, you got this. We'll be on our way home now. $130. You got it. Now, yes, we helped you out. We're neighbors now, so... Okay, you're at war right now. 29. So I hear you're a seducer, huh? So maybe we should romance and become soulmates, and then, once we're together, you can join our realm. Or better yet, hold a feast in your name. Or do all that. Wow, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. The inn we stayed in Octo last night was a surprisingly wonderful place. I don't know what inn our staff did right, but something about the inn allowed most of us to sleep through the night so peacefully. This morning there are smiles on the faces of many of my entourage as we prepare to leave. What a wonderful place this was. I just want to get back here as soon as possible. What do you need? How good are you? Legendary. You want to go to Africa? You got it. You got it, my man. Go get that artifact. Bring me something truly unique. You can defeat those bastards, can't you? It appears so. 105. You got him, you got him. You got him. Come on. Hey, can I join your war? He'll become your friend this way. Yeah, let's do it. Well, when the war is over, it's a defensive war, so it's not going to cause too much of a ruckus here. So I'll just put it here. And we'll try to get there as soon as we can. And maybe you and I, we can get together. Bring me something truly unique. It's time to let my feelings toward that back down. Bozadea, that's how you pronounce your name, be known. Want to remember to stay for the rest of my life. Sing a love ballad. I found a classic Carlo glove ballad which suits him perfectly. I practice it over and over. Everything must be perfect. I find my honeycomb walking in the duck's gardens, surrounded by his friends, with my heart beating like a hammer. I kneel before him and sing. Basadale's his cheeks turned deep pomegranate red, but he does not interrupt me. His companions all look pleased or jealous, surely a good sign. You have a beautiful voice, my lady, he says before he hurries on. His friends are quick to follow. I stand up on shaky legs, watching him disappear between the hedges, my heart beating harder than ever. He won't resist my charms so long. We're not friends yet, but we're in the process of it once it's over. And then maybe we can vassalize him. And we should hold a feast. Like whichever is more convenient. Well, I would hold a feast at Samarkand. I don't know if it has to be in the realm or somewhere else. Oh, I'm talking domain. Domain is the word you're looking for. See if you can capture Sadariyaya in battle. You have a massive advantage now. You're going to destroy his army. That's a win. I just need him vassalized. Okay, we're not friends yet, but we're very close. Okay, you know what? Let's hold a feast in Samarkand. No need for an inspection. It's not in a domicile domain. Okay, fair enough. Has to be here then. Honorary guest, you. Honorary guest, I wish to befriend you. Not only as befriend. Yeah, why not? I have a great opinion of everybody. Just hold it, okay? This is gonna be between me and him, okay? So, stop it right now. Let's make it a small feast because I don't want the hassle of travel to delay. Yeah, the knights can join. It's so are my courtiers, they could stick around. Husband will be there too, I mean that's a must. But anything else, no. Because the only person that's gonna be traveling is him. So this is a smaller feast and it's gonna be meant for him. I wish to befriend him and then subsequently seduce him perhaps if time allows. And then once it becomes more accepted, he'll vassalize and join our realm, and this will give me the opportunity to conquer that territory and hold it for myself before I pass on. This is what I want. And be big spending. But at least the location has orchards here. Servants run across all bringing the final decorations. Some of the guests have yet to arrive, and I indulge myself with a delicious drink by the fire. I've seen and spotted some veiled cutlets already. Can't find out the bag Basadale anywhere yet. Can't wait for him to arrive, so my plan to befriend him can finally start. We have a lovely time ahead of us. He is on his way. Although he's a comfort eater, so good. He feast is just made for something like him. Just hope you have safe travels, man. So yeah, I am willing to take a bit of break from warfare after doing that lion hunt. And now we hold a feast for this man to come to try to befriend him, make him my soulmate. And then this joins the realm because it's kind of a bit of an oddball of a Buddhist realm this far west, and it needs to join our Khanate. My liege, my journey to Africa is underway, and I joined a camel train traversing the width of land. I send you a piece of jewelry for one of my fellow travelers granted me. The most delicate necklace covered in ostrich shell beads. Suppose you had seen ostrich. Fine, fine, I'll wear it myself. Just for keeps. Saran died in childbirth. Radasa, the other grandson. She did not deserve this. Don't die, man. That's all I could say. So therefore the alliance between us is broken. Hopefully we could try to salvage this. Perhaps with time, if something happens to him. So I think our idea to have an alliance with them is probably out for naught. This is terrible timing. He had a delay. Come on. The lace of my acquaintance Samantha Zabu has become all the rage to correlate. This piece deals with the feelings of sorrow and loss. Zabu is publicly dedicated to it. Summer of sorrow. How a cruel mistress is a random chance. The casters I have near a glance. We're other, but we're all hollow shells. All lonely hearts in separate cells. So far I kept my thoughts to myself, but the bruise has grown too dramatic to ignore for much longer. I can see it's truly heartfelt. It's kind of related to what happened lately. He had another delay. Hope you haven't had a hard time. You betrayed the faith, stealing wealth. He's here. Alright, see if I can befriend him. The guests are gathered in a great hall. Lords and ladies from near and far reaches the realm. I prefer the company of books to people, but duty is duty. The mood is bright and the spirit's high as the feast begins. Welcome, friends. What's that? Eating is well underway and maybe drinking a little too far along with Mutlu. Oh, ha! I know her. Ever since, you know, she's a great physician. Lulu decided it was time for some horse riding. My stables are locked up tight, but with the guidance of Bonyak, Mutlu soon led a group of eager riders inside. I have absolutely no control over my animals. There was swearing and laughter and broken bones as men and women fell from horses ambling around the hall. The other creatures in the stables did not get away much easier. One goat nearly caved in under the weight of Vrundamre Shuji. Stay my hands. Save those people from themselves. My lady, the wine. We cracked open the next barrel, and it's all gone bad. It has all gone bad. Feast still raging. Without the drink, the mood is sure to dwindle at a cruel pace. The wine merchant should still be in town. You have the money to spend. My guests are in good moods. Feast brought us closer and we were able to look back and chuckle at the escapades of Lulu and her drunken band of merrymakers for years ago. Keep me in your hearts, vassals. As plate after plate of food is brought into the great hall, an unmistakable smell reaches me, and I smile. That's my efficient quids. It took his sensitive to almond. It's something I sadly forgot to tell the cook. I bid you all welcome, and I pray that you find the food to your liking. Let's face it, I savor for the food that is definitely to my liking. Don't know what I'm going to do with that. With him, honestly. The feast is underway and our guests are eating and drinking merrily. Odd track approached Sogdia and made the great him. This is a marvelous feast. All confidence to the host. Yes, I've done a great job, haven't I? There's one plate of food is placed by the next. My acquaintance at the fact goes on and on about friendship. That's how we salvage that, master. Sure you're not boring, my lady? Why don't we talk more about you instead? I've shown interest in him. So even though he's your friend, that's still not enough. The feast is starting to draw to a close, and my visitors are surely expecting me to lavish a little attention on Archegos Basadea, our esteemed guest of honor. Traditionally, a complimentary toast and a deep drink of tea does the trick. I think I know Basadea did was turn up. I paid for everything and hosted it to everyone. And now a toast to the Archegos. Few candles survive as the last of the guests have left. I could hear a pair of servants lighting out sighs of relief as after the doors closed. Food is still warm in ceramic plates. Soon, word will reach every corner of the realm, and every noble worth their salt will know that magnificence is unparalleled. If everyone headed home with bellies full of exotic delicacies, I'm proud to say that the feast was a success. Nevertheless, I'm still grateful that the endeavor is over for now. And with that, it's all done. Great banquet. We don't typically hold those here. I just fell short, but you are getting older and older. Now listen. So even if we're allies again, it wouldn't be enough. But the problem is we have no means to try to create an alliance. Not unless if I had a sibling. What do I endorse a divorce? Enforce the divorce. Well, I'm endorsing it to enforce it. Okay? Also, 10 days. Hang on. We might have something here. I don't know if this will work. Every time I close my eyes, I see Archegos' face. Sleep will not come. I cannot wait another moment. Cloak the shadows and make my way to his castle. The sight of his chamber window makes my heart stutter. So close yet so far. Wait, who is that? Climbing up the tower. The city figure stops by his window and unnotches the shutters. My treasure is in danger. I must save him. The sounds from the struggle above is the greatest motivator I ever known. Without care for life and limb, I hoist myself through his window. The scene that meets me is not what I expected. Overturned furniture, shredded curtains, and Basadea is standing over an unmoving body with a bloody dagger in his hand. Basadale, you alright? I asked cautiously, as if my words were slowly. Finally freezes. Draws on my Thanks, Siddhartha, you are. Yes, Sati. I will never let you get into harm's way again. So I will lay with him, and he becomes my soulmate. Found eternal love after I rescue him from a thief. He's a soulmate plus 15. That's it! That's it! Son! Divorce your wife. She's past childbearing age, so... I do that because I say so! Time's come to part ways, and, set up a patrol. How about this? Nice, son. You're done. 1 sec. Okay. Try that again. Are you sure? You cannot have an alliance. I didn't know you were a bodyguard. Didn't realize where you come from. How about that? Anyways, there you are. Gotcha. Not gonna spend money on a grand wedding. We just gotta do it right then and there. Well, actually, what happens if we were to hold a grand wedding in a couple of years' time when she turns 16? I think I might pass till then. But a promise of a grand wedding makes it more likely to accept. Alright, that's up to him, okay? That's up to him. Plus, we simply want the vassal in. I'm not going to throw more money into some grandiose ceremony that won't happen in a couple of years. Let's do it. Come on, hurry. I have a limited time on Earth. He says yes. Of course you will be religiously protected, as it's kind of far from Manichean influence over there. We got it. Welcome, friend and soulmate. You'll be devastated when I pass on. You might fall into depression. The timing couldn't be better. We need to take that land. Move it in Bactra, or Bugs, which is the, I guess that's the Karluk name for Balk. And your clan government. Excellent. That'll be good for the taxpayer to get a bunch of money and levies out of you. This piece of land is what I want for myself. One last conquest. For the money. And don't care about the offensive war opinion. No holy war? Okay. Forced vassalization it is. But here's the thing. One day we're going to get a claim on that land and we're going to get rid of you. on his way back from the Hajj pilgrimage. I guess the reason's out there because we're not neighbors. Fair enough. Come here. Move rally point over. Put it over in Kashgar. It'll take less time to bring man-at-arms over here. And it will go straight to that mountain. It'll take a little bit of time, but and then after that we can, you know, holy war the rest of this area. Yes. Or how about we wait a month until it's registered? Just wait till July. There's always time. You just want to make sure, okay? To see if they're not ribbing me. Nope, they're not kidding. Okay then. We're gonna have to do it this way. It should not take as long as getting men-at-arms over Ferghana or any part of Sogdia. But we're gonna be fighting in their turf. No, honestly, the easiest thing in the world is just do it from the capital and march on from there. But who's keeping count? Gather together over here. I knew that getting owner would mean doing everything slower, but I didn't think it would all come to a halt till my death. Lately I feel a constant malaise and everything takes more than before. I'm worried if I'm laid down, I might be able to get back up again. There's no doubt that my time is running out. If I could do not wait to death's sweet embrace to claim me. So I'm infirm now. And keep in mind, your iron constitution and this preservative box does offset infirm, I believe. Does offset this. Oh, and now you're ill. Okay, now I'm definitely dying. I guess this is how I'm gonna die. In illness. You're still excellent. Well, that money is going to be well spent for the magnificent funeral that I'll have, but one last conquest. Just be happy with your accomplishments. But I live, at least for a while longer. Will be slightly slower in traversing through these here mountains. You increased your vassal levies to me. How nice of you. Oh, and we're going to be fighting up in the mountains, and it's going to be winter, so I have even more advantage than the Malik here. I have the advantage. Yeah, why the heck not? Because I'm old and I'm gonna go out very soon. Army's not destroyed, but we'll take this fairly fast. It takes less than 2 months to get this place. I wish I had the siege engineer trade as well, but oh well. Whatever gets us going faster. Don't expect me to go up there to you. .5 day daily siege progress. Wildcard General Gonzalez, my Chancellor offered me a full effort and exertion to improve my standing among my peers and populace in my domain, in exchange for furthering your own personal agenda with the Council. Stand facing a dilemma I must solve. If I agree on this pact, my Chancellor, I will alienate the other councils and risk their wrath. I'm not terribly worried about that. Actually, I'll agree then. Gain the favor of me. My fears, Ferghana. In these troubled times, I pray by the grace of God, whichever shall be in his keeping, for your glory and victory. I also wish you a happy life through your young years. To that end, I may present you a small embroidered kerchief, which I have kissed 3 times. I invite you to humbly wrap it around your right arm, as a token of my constant desire to guard your life as an angel would. I should take it off till the war is won. How nice. My lady, I've returned from Africa for an artifact of my journey. This letter is part of the correspondence between the Prophet Muhammad and the rulers of Syria. A letter from Muhammad. This is a Muslim artifact, so that's kind of useless to us, but it does give you the court grandeur bonus. Also, indestructible artifact. It's not going to deteriorate. Wonderful. I step out of my tent, the siege camp sprawls up before me. A ragged camp of canvas holds the crowd between the barren slopes of Avir and the forest at its back. The sky is choked with smoke and the fires burning in iron cauldrons. Flames so huge that they cast long shadows on the desolate field. Flags flutter in the stiff northwestern breeze. The cutters stacked right against the dune sky. Residue smoke and guttering flames light the scene of flickering orange glow. The soldiers sit around, hungry tankards of meat, relaxing small talk camaraderie. Smoke of fires drifts fills the air, and the smell of food and cooking on spits by the bonfire grows stronger. My lower lieutenant approaches forms the siege down. Got him about a god said you had to come. The mastery of Sognan stands for me. A canyon of shattered walls and fields between lie the blackened corpses of slain men and burnt out hovels choked with rubble. Bodies litter the scorched village. Flesh torn from bone by swords, or trampled, solidifying in the muddy streets. Shocks of iris stumble in the dark streets, clutching a burnt skin bandaging their wounds. The children wail, the wounded howl. They're all too drunk on fear to understand their circumstances. Loot this place. And prison, everyone. Okay. This land is mine. And very soon, all this will be mine. Especially that part that I want more than anything else. You know what? No rest for the wicked here. I actually want to start the next war right now. I want that land. Men-at-arms would be deployed here immediately. Go on, let's go. Head to there. Takes 6 months to get there. All the fort levels are similar. No need to display that. That's for capes. They hired mercenaries. I ain't scared. If you're gonna be hiring mercenaries, I'll hire them too if need to. Plus, that's from a faraway land, so I'm not concerned at all. Also, failed to point out that since we took the holy site of Samarkand, it gives us for all Manicheans, stewardship per level devotion +1. Yeah. Far too long since I held my Sominata bag Basadeo in my arms. He has been distant lately. He gives me excuse after excuse of why we cannot meet. Am I not to his satisfaction? Is he simply busy? Or could it be warming someone else's bed? Do you have another? Oh, I know you're a married man, so if I do feel betrayed, I'm like, well, you're a known adulterer, so it wouldn't surprise me. Independence war. Nomadic affairs that I didn't know interest of. Just want these last 2 counties, and then that'll be it for this episode. And probably that'll be it for this character. See, it takes less than 2 months. Hired more mercenaries. That's what sitting on that mine is for. It gives you so much money these days. I step out of my tent to rub my cage cast sprawls before me. A maze of tents and log palisades. Standards, colors flap and snap in the wind. Lean against the bare rock statue rise in the earth. Skulls sulk above, calling one another show cries. The smell of tar and nate's foot oil hangs in the air. The monastery of Apakaran stands before me, of wreckage of burning wood and broken stone. In the fields between the dead and dying, grown and burned, disfigured by flames, beyond clouds of hungry flies and dust, I notice the stench of brimstone. Grieving widows wail in the street while fires and bodies smolder. Load it. Move out. One more place to take. Let them take whatever they want. We're going to fully occupy them anyhow. Less than 2 months. A promising South Arabian woman named Tanin Harususi from the local Middle Eastern community in my realm wishes to join my court. The peoples who originally came from the Middle East are infamous in many lands along the Silk Road for their business acumen, their lovely art and music, and the beauty of their women. Regardless of her actual capabilities, having a connection to Tanin could be useful. Is it? An Alawite South Arabian who's got diplomacy and is into intrigue, though craven, so you wouldn't worry about it. So yeah, why not? Stick around. It might be useful someday for something. We got him. These are my 10 stage counterspells before me. A mass stacks of dirt, bodies, humanity. The smell of it fills my nostrils, from the sweet clean air. What an intoxicating smell. Such a mixture of bodies, and mud, and sweat, and human waste. Flags hang limply in the rain-fogged air, whipped now and then by wind. Everything is covered in thick, sheen-gray damp like a mud-laden lake. A mastery of Manicheans stands before me. A blackened, crumbling shell, in the fields between empty carts dot charred mounds of dirt. The wooden wheels still bear traces of thick, wet blood. On the walls that still stand, blackened corpses line the battlements. Bones crack and crumble in my feet. Survivors huddle to the center of the village, surrounded by blackened carcasses of buildings and their weeping children. Spare it because that land in particular is of good importance. Because I will have personal control over that. The others can just be, well, just give it to the local Palmyres, who will be of Manichean faith. It'll be re-enabled in a year's time. And get to work. There was a major purge here. Oh, this is going to be a contentious place. So you better get to work on that. 1 sec. 2 years' time. So no more wars for the rest of this character's life. That'll be the final conquest. This is going to be a dangerous place to try to take control of. Do we have an excellent seneschal? Kubasan. What little you can. Get it up faster. Now, where's this alleged disease? Oh, you're talking about that one. Not concerned. So, before we get out of this here episode, yeah. Yes. Another thing we could do. In the next episode, for the remainder of this character's life, we gotta go to the inspection, to Barakshan. That's the thing we gotta do to get something done. Since I'm gonna make this place, you know, of my domain, which will be under full control in 2 years' time or so. So, I'm happy with all this, of what we did here for this episode. Made Sogdia into a theocratic realm under our Archegos, the head of faith. We connect most of the Pamiri mountains into the lands of what we used to know it as Bactria. So it's a gateway to Khorasan. And what are the Seljuks up to next? Defensive war. So we hope that people have enjoyed this episode and more. So, we'll see you in the next one. So long for now.